Hello! Hello. Can you see and hear me? Yes, I can see and hear you. Excellent. Splendid. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I put that there. Is that going to be in the way when I do the thing? Right. So, good evening, everybody. I hope you are all well on this drizzly Tuesday. Very autumnal. Oh, wow. I can see Keith very, very, very early on in the morning in Perth, Australia, I think. Hi, everyone. I'll just give things to my lexicon is still not you. Sorry, the Amazon woman just did the thing. And as you can tell, we've started this evening with coherent thoughts from me, coherent words and abuse. I've got my...
What? Abuse? You love it. You love it.
You can see the shoulder of my partner in crime.
I'm being feral today. I'm like animal print.
Okay.
Just so you know.
I now know. Okay, well, great. So, and Thomas Langham finally making it to a live show rather than just watching the replay. And Kevin, Stephen, Moog. Hi, everyone. Anyone I've missed? Okay, so I think it's going to be quite a small crowd this evening. And I realise saying this might make a bunch of you jump ship, but hey. So I set the stream up for this morning. And then I saw on, I think it's on Deployment Zone, or possibly on Liam Dempsey. They're live streaming tonight with Liam and Winters and Vanguard Tactics and Mini Wargaming Dave, and they're actually playing a game with the Black Templars. So I thought, well, there goes my audience, or at least some of them anyway. So they're doing that at the moment. They've been doing that since 7 o'clock. So maybe that will have concluded. But yeah. Anyway, so slightly different format today. Ever so slightly. I'm going to go straight into the book and do the Black Templar ramble thing rather than rambling about my week, which is possibly not what everyone's tuning in for. So I'm going to go straight on with the ramble about the book, which will be very similar in style to my Codex and Battle Tome reviews, if you've seen those. I'm basically going to have the book open. I'm going to flick through it, talking about the I'm going to flick through it and ramble. No heckling from the peanut gallery. I'm going to ramble through the book, and then I'll do in the last week, I have... okay, so... Oh, it is Coca-Cola again this evening, but it's Stay Awake Paul Coke rather than Sleepy Time 1990 Dreamy Snoozy Snooze Paul Coke. Okay, I think the microphone's going to be in the way if I leave it there. And I move that. Okay, so... Codex Supplement, that's what I was thinking of. Codex Supplement, Black Templars. It's upside down, Paul.
It's upside down, Paul.
It's the right way around now, Paul.
Oh, great stuff.
Okay.
I'm Sarah, by the way. No, I'm not.
Crimson.
Absolutely.
Can't use real names.
Oh, I might get stalked.
People might find us.
I might get stalked. Bring it on. A bit of excitement. Maybe not.
So, yes, GW have provided me with this codex free of charge, which hashtag I have to say, because they have. It's to do with the advertising laws. But yes, they provided this to me free of charge, and I am going to talk through and give you my thoughts about it. So, starting at the... Hey, someone got the Father Ted reference. Splendid. Okay. So, starting at the front, there's an introduction, as one might expect. There's a lot of talking in here about their almost infinite hatred and intolerance. And it talks about how they are really not terribly nice people. They're doing everything in the Emperor's name, but yeah. There's a nice little ditty about when Dawn trod the earth and the Emperor trod the earth, and Sigismund being named the Emperor's champion. There's a nice little bit about that, and then a bit about Dawn sort of bowing down, as it were, to his brother, and and breaking his legion and following the Codex. Yeah, nice little bit about that. Right, the Holy Chapter. The Black Templars are warriors of the Adeptus Astartes, yet for all their similarities to their brother chapters, they also diverge greatly from the tenets of the Codex Astartes. Ironically, in that respect at least, the Black Templars are amongst the most divergent of the Emperor's Angels of Death. So,
shouldn't you turn it around and show them the picture?
No.
Why?
Can't.
Okay then.
So it talks about the origins of the chapter being one of the two successor chapters in the Second Founding from the Imperial Fists. It talks about them having no home world and being on a permanent crusade. There's a bit about paying lip service only to the Codex Astartes, and jealously guarding their autonomy. And nice little bit, well, they're all nice little bits, to be quite honest. My overall impressions of the book are pretty good, because I'm coming at this from the point of view of someone who's never really read much of the Black Templars story. I mean, obviously, that they're a successor chapter. It's Sigismund, and they have that belief in the Emperor as a god, and they go around worshipping and kicking heretics in the shins. But I wanted to try and, that background aside, I wanted to come and look at this as, can I know what I feel I need to know to play Black Templars just from this book? Do I have enough back here? Does it give me enough in the background? And I think it does. There were, as I was going through and reading it, which I did this morning. That's what I did today. You asked me earlier, what did you do today? And I said, I don't know. I read this.
That's why you didn't tidy the kitchen.
No, I didn't tidy the kitchen because I was cooking your dinner.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it talks about It talks about a lot of the deeds outwardly looking, of violence or horrific, and massacres and atrocities, but they're always justified because it's in the Emperor's name. There's also a big bit about how when people call for the Black Templars' aid, they don't always end up alive at the end of it, because the Black Templars will follow entirely their own view on purity and corruption. And there are a couple of references in here to imperial governors ending up as servitors as punishment for their failures. So, engaging with the Black Templars, double-edged sword, if you pardon the pun. Bit about the internal Crusader, which is effectively the flagship. It's a Gloriana-class battle barge from the days of the heresy, but it also mentions about how it's got twice the normal capacity for assault craft, which made me instantly think, oh, okay, drop pods, Storm Eagles. Oh yeah, what can I do? What could I do to launch attacks from that? How could I help spin that game wise? Then we've got, how much is this? About 6 or 8 pages on various bits and bobs where it starts to flesh out a number of things. Talks about the Crusader Squad and how I'm trying to think of which point to start with. So quite disjointed tonight, as you can already tell. So it talks about the trials that a neophyte has to take, and they sound pretty brutal. Running across hot coals, reciting imperial litanies whilst fighting to the death, being sort of put in a room blinded against captured psychers, and having to fight their way out. All sorts of stuff. Through the battery of nightmares, aspirants must also deal with the racking agonies as their bodies adapt to the implanted organs, with the endless barrages of psycho-indoctrination. By the time they're just ready to advance to the rank of neophyte, few remain. So they really do pick the really strong emperor bothering ones. But then it says that so they then become a neophyte, and they are attached to an initiate, which is their next level up. That's like full marine. And they then act as their squire and their serf, tending on them with their armor, serving them when they feast. So they really are sort of being used, abused, and trained by their initiate. And so that got me thinking about, and Crusader squads are initiates, and their initiates and their paired neophytes. So that made me sort of think, oh well, when they die, maybe do I position them? Do I do squad positions together in pairs? Do I take them off in pairs? Do I do something to tie them together in the squads to make them, look like they're similar? Don't know, but the Crusader formations are about the pairs of initiates and neophytes, and then a neophyte is then judged worthy and becomes an initiate, and then will be assigned a neophyte to train. And it talks about how when initiates don't have neophytes, that's when they don't always fight in crusade formations. I wanted to see with this book how well they dealt with the fact that now this is a supplement and there is a main codex, and the codex has many unit types in it. I wanted to see how well they made it all make sense. With, does it make sense if they use aggressors or tactical squads when Crusader Squad is their mainstay? Well, it basically says that when they're not in Crusader Squads, they have a lot of freedom to purge. They have basically, it says they have their own relationship with the Emperor, and they can arm themselves and kind of do what they want. They answer their own calling. So when not in Crusader Squads, because they haven't got neophytes, many of the initiates will take on other roles as befits their temperament and preference for arming. So, for example, one example it gives is talking about a lot of them may form formations like assault squads, aggressor squads, and so on. And it says those close quarter support, they have the honor of wearing red trim on their shoulder pads. Quite interesting. It's interesting if you like me. It also talks about how then they may be raised up to the rank of veteran, at which point they no longer take on neophytes, and they might form formations like Blade Guard, Terminators, and so on. And then from those are chosen the what they called Sword Brethren, which are another unit that's in here. They're the sort of super veterans, super stabby, choppy veterans. It also talks about how they form keeps on many planets that they settle. They use them for recruitment. So they don't have fortress monasteries anywhere, but when they purge a world, they build a keep, and they keep it manned to an extent. And they sort of, it doesn't explicitly say it, but reading between the lines, they rotate Astartes on and off keep duty that they use for recruitment and other things. So they have to learn patience as well as the fiery, stabby, burn heretic. It talks about how a crusade can be anything from hundreds of warriors to just a handful, just a dozen Astartes in a crusade formation. It also then talks about within a crusade, if they need to subdivide, they break it up into things that they call fighting companies. And it explicitly says that these can they have unusual mixes of squads and vehicles. They are based on fraternal bonds and honor. So it sort of goes into a medium level of detail about the crusade structure, the substructures within a crusade, and then how squads are chosen and how the narrative clearly explains to me how I can field more or less anything I want to, and how I can structure it in a narrative way to match the chapter organization, which I really like. It talks about marshals being the equivalent of captains, and castellans being the lieutenant equivalent. So a marshal is the head of a crusade, and within a crusade, a castellan is a head of a fighting company, which might be a big formation, might be a small formation. So the number of castellans is not particularly distinct, but it helps me sort of think, okay, well, I might build a number of little nooks within a crusade, each led by a castellan. And then it explains that nicely, I think. It explains the difference between veterans and sword brethren. And then how sword brethren are deployed. I won't go into all the details because I'm not. It's not. I can't. I'm just gonna. I could sit here and read it out, but that's that's not what this is about. Talks about chapter command, the High Marshal, the how the chaplains and tech marines and apothecaries work. They have free reign to basically go wherever they think they need to be, which was quite interesting. There's a moderate amount of stuff on that. There's a nice few paragraphs on the Empress Champion. I keep saying nice. I think it's all quite nice. I genuinely think this is very well written and very well put together. I mean, it may have already been like this, and I'm just happened to be reading about them for the first time. But it talks about how the Empress Champion is sort of identified through a vision, and then each crusade has the sacred war gear, and the Empress Champion then goes to seek out the enemy champions and lords and strike them down with righteous fury, and how it's a terrible portent if the Empress Champion falls, and how they have to recover his armor and his sword. And I can sit that sort of has me narrativing. I'm like, ooh, what if? And what if? And you play a game where the champion falls over, and you're like, uh-oh, what do we do next? A couple of pages on High Marshal Helbrecht. Some stuff on Warzone Armageddon. Haven't really read that. Interesting chapter on the era Indomitus. Now, all the way through it, I was thinking, come on, tackle the issue of how they've adapted to Primaris Marines. And I was working through this and thinking that, you know what, I'm going to be coming back to it again and saying, I wish they'd properly addressed how they dealt with the Primaris Marines. And as I was thinking that, they started to address how they deal with the Primaris Marines. And I won't try and go into it in a lot of detail, but Gilliman goes to meet Helbrecht, and they have a meeting. It doesn't go the way either of them expected, and Helbrecht basically comes away believing that the Primaris Marines are a gift from the God Emperor. So as such, straight in the door. There's then a section on the Purgus Crusade. Some lovely artwork. The Hemidel Crusade. Some nice artwork here as well. This looks like this is Word Bearers versus Black Templars and Sisters. A very nice picture that I can't show you. I'm pretty sure I can't show you. I'm not certain. And the Tannhelm Crusade. Then there's a double couple of pages on the what?
Cola sponsorship.
Hey, Eldar Blog, thank you very much. What did I miss something?
Yeah, you missed Chapter Master's nice donation as well.
Ah, Mr. Lexicus, thank you very much, sir. Very much appreciated. Yay. So there's then. Now, let me get this right. There's a few pages on the heraldry, some gorgeous pictures of models. I mean, yeah, these are lovely.
These are lovely. Can't show them.
I know.
Stop saying they're lovely.
I'm reviewing the book. I am telling people who may or may not be interested that the pictures in here are ones that I like. That may be information they want to see. I don't know. They may be aware of they may want to
All right.
heckling.
Oh, dog. Nice to see you too. Well, see you typing too.
Right, now we're into that's right. So the reason I'm slightly discombobulated at this precise moment is because there's a page in here with like quotes, and I'm like, I don't know what these are for. And then I thought, oh, are they for the thing? They might be for the thing. And then it's like 20 pages later where they're for the thing. It's like, okay. So into the rules, that one of the detachment abilities are the Templar vows, which is really nice. So at the end of the read mission briefing step, so basically once you know what mission you're playing, you can choose one of the Templar vows. Suffer not the unclean to live, uphold the honor of the emperor, abhor the witch, destroy the witch, accept any challenge, no matter the odds. They're the 4 vows. And to the end of the battle, anything with the Templar vow ability gets the vow, which I'll come on to in a minute. Every unit in the army that has the Black Templar keyword that also has the combat doctrines keyword gains the Black Templar vow ability. So basically all your Black Templars get Templar vows. And the bit that's further back here are sort of divine quotes like trust in the emperor at the hour of battle, and to lay waste to the citadels with hurricanes of fire, stuff like that. Now, the Templar vows, you pick these per game. You don't have to have it in your list. Each one has got a pro and a con, a vow and a passion, as it were. Suffer not the unclean to live. So the vow, each time models in this unit make a melee attack against a non-vehicle unit, rolls of 6, auto wound. Nice. The passion is that that they have to charge the nearest unit if they're going to charge. I'm paraphrasing. It's got some of those awful verbiage around it, but basically, if you're charging, you've got to charge the nearest unit. Uphold the honor of the emperor. The vow is models of a 5+ invuln save, and 1s and 2s to wound always fail. But the passion is you can't claim cover. Abhor the witch, destroy the witch. Once per battle in your first movement phase, if there are enemy psychers in the army until the end of the phase, add 3 to the movement characteristic and models in this unit. So if the enemy's got psychers, you get +3 movement in turn. And you reroll wounds of 1 against psychers in close combat. The passion is that if there are psychers within 18 inches of you, you can't perform actions. So, and then the final one, accept any challenge no matter the odds. So whilst you're in close combat, you gain the assault doctrine. It doesn't matter what turn it is. And you get +1 attack, but it's not cumulative with shock assault. So it's basically you get the shock assault attack even in turns that you don't charge. The passion is units can't fall back. So I can see how they can be sort of utilitarian from a match play point of view. I can also see how you would totally pick which one of those you were doing based on depending on the story, which is pretty cool. Okay, so there are 2 pages of stratagems. Now, I'm not going to go through them all, but I'm going to pick a couple and go through those. So, Heretics Pyre, 1 CP or 2 CP. Use the shooting phase, pick a core unit, Flame weapons have a minimum of 3 attacks against 6 to 10 models. That has between 6 and 10 models has a minimum of 3 attacks. 11 or more. It's blast. Flame weapons get blast. If the unit is a Gravis unit, the stratagem costs 2 CP because that Flamestorm aggressors. This just screams to me. Flamestorm aggressors. This army. Maybe not screaming. Crusader's Wrath. Use the split in your command phase. 2 CP. If your Assault Doctrine is active, if you make an attack with a pistol or a melee weapon, on a roll of 6, improve the armor pen by 1, cumulative with Assault Doctrine. Tenacious Assault. Use the stratagem when an enemy infantry or beast unit is within engagement range of any Black Templars. Units from your army. Hang on. Use the stratagem when an enemy infantry or beast unit that's in close combat with Black Templars is selected to fall back. On a 4+, they can't. Okay, so you can stop people falling back. Bombastic Delivery. Oh, that's auto pass your Chaplin's Litany. What else? Incendiary Shells. Let's have a look at this one. One CP. Units with a Stasi shotgun have a damage characteristic of 2. Nice. I think shotguns go to Crusaders, I think. Okay, so Litanies of the Devout. Your Black Templars priests, so your chaplains, have to use these litanies, not the one in the main book. Let's have a look at a couple of these. Fervent Acclamation. Pick a friendly unit within 6 inches. Oh, and then give it a Templar vow. So you can put the one of the other Templar vows on a unit. Psalm of Remorseless Persecution. Gotta love that name. Black Templar's core unit within 6 inches. A modified wound roll of 6. Inflicts a mortal wound in addition. Nice. Warlord traits. Epitome of Piety. Try saying that after a couple of shandies. In your opponent's psychic phase, the warlord can attempt to deny the witch if it were a psyker. Add 1 to deny the witch tests. So intense is the warlord's devotion to the God Emperor, they are able to throw off the malign influence of the warp. Nice. Oathkeeper. Warlord is able to perform a heroic intervention within 6 inches. Yeah, so that's an extra. Inspirational Fighter is an aura. Within 6 inches. Unmodified wound roll of 6. Improve the AP. Cumulative with the Assault Doctrine. Nice. Relics. Okay, let's pick a couple of these. Ancient Bereavery. Chaplain model only. Each time a roll is made to determine if a litany is inspiring, roll 1 additional d6 and discard the lowest result. Nice. Crusader's Helm. Add 3 inches to the bearer's aura abilities. And then select a unit within 9 inches in the command phase. That unit counts as having the Assault Doctrine active. Witch Seeker Bolts. Select 1 bolt weapon. You can choose to fire a Witch Seeker Bolt. Ignore Lookout, sir, for a Psyker. A successful hit does D3 mortal wounds in addition to any damage against a Psyker. Oh! Ouchie! Yeah, so they're all very purgy. Nice, very characterful. Now, Relic Bearers. Now, I think this must have been stuck together earlier. I haven't read this yet. Right, okay. So let's explore together, shall we? If your army includes any Black Templar chaplain, you can use the upgrades listed below. For each Black Templar infantry or biker unit in your army, you can select one upgrade to give to that unit. Each one is unique, must be allocated to a model of the unit. That model gains the abilities instead. Should it... Right, so basically you're picking a model to carry a relic.
Sorry, I was just throwing something in the bin.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm keeping very quiet here.
You are? You are? I was starting to get a little worried about you.
Yeah, you're ignoring all my post-its.
You're not passing any to me yet. We're not at that time
All
yet.
right, you tell me when you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, so basically it looks like you pick a unit, pick a model in the unit, and then they become a relic bearer if you have a chaplain in your army. So they can then be, they can carry a relic into battle. And then there's a bunch of them. They're all 1 power upgrades between 10 and 20 points. Let's pick a couple. Sigismund's Seal, this is a 20.1. At the start of the first battle round, select one unit on the battlefield until the end of the battle. Each time a melee attack is made by this model's unit against that enemy model's unit, you can reroll. So many unnecessary words. Reroll to hit and reroll to wound against that unit. Beast Pyre. Model with the Flamer or Pyre Blaster only. So Beast Pyre replaces that Flamer. It's Assault D6, Strength 6, -2, Blast. Auto hit, 15-inch range. Nice. The Bones of Mordred. All right, this last one from this bit. Each time this model makes a melee attack, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on any target in addition to normal damage. Okay, so there's nothing sort of world-shattering, but yeah, nice little soupçon, nice little flavour enhancer, bit of MSG. Then there's the chapter approved rules, and then the section of Crusade rules, which I'm skipping over. Right, then we have units. So we've got some corrections to existing data sheets. So marshals, so Primaris captains have additional weapon options, and they are effectively auto flamers and plasma pistols to go with power sword, mastercrafted power swords, mastercrafted power axes in various combination. Castellan is a Primaris lieutenant with other weapon options, with heavy bolt pistol, starter's chainsaw, heavy bolt pistol, mastercrafted power sword, auto plasma and starter's chainsaw, auto plasma, mastercrafted power sword. Then Black Templar's Armory, so you can give Gladiator Lancer, Gladiator Reaper, Gladiator Variant, Impulsor, Repulsor Executioner. You can upgrade the Iron Hail Stubber to a multi-melter. And then the Repulsor, you can upgrade the Iron Hail Stubber to a multi-melter. Why they didn't lump those together, I don't know. Nah, we'll see. So then we've got High Marshal Halbrecht. He has his own sheet. And Chaplain Grimaldus. Yep. Not going to go into those too much. The Emperor's Champion. So what can he do? So 2+ weapon skill, Natch. Strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 5 attacks, 2 up save. The Black Sword has two attack options. One is strength +3, so strength 7, -3, 2 damage. The other is strength 8, -4, 3 damage, with -1 to hit. Sweeping blow and thrusting strike. 4+ invulnerable save. Skillful parry, -1 to hit him in melee. Sigismund's Heir. If you make a melee attack against a character, you can reroll to hit and reroll to wound. Can never be given a relic. It always fights first if it's an engagement range of an enemy character. Oh! And then honor or death. Oh, it's 6-inch heroic intervention against characters. Now, Primaris Crusader Squad. So a minimum size is 1 Primaris Sword Brother, 5 Primaris Initiates, and 4 Primaris Neophytes. You can go as high as a unit of 20 with various restrictions on which ones you can have and which ones you can't. Primaris Initiate is just your basic Primaris Marine stat line. Your Neophyte is the same, but with a leadership of 6 and a save of 4, rather than as opposed to the 7 and 3. The Sword Brother is base 3 attacks. So he's a standard Sarge. The Pyre Blaster. You've got Pyre Pistols and Pyre Blasters. They're the unique weapons, I think, on here. Pyre Blaster is a 15-inch range flamer with -1 AP. Pyre Pistol is a 12-inch range pistol flamer, strength 4, -1 AP. They're nice. They're going to get a lot of use. And I don't know if this has been included anywhere else, but the bolt carbine is 24, assault 2, strength 4. That's what your initiates can have. Same stat line, but different number of shots to the auto bolt rifle, which is very handy, means you can roll them all together. So basically, each initiate or neophyte can have either a bolter option or a chainsword and pistol option. You can have a number of Pyre Blasters and Power Fists added into the squad. In addition to the Sword Brother, who can have either a sword or an axe and hand flamer. Then you've got Crusader Squad, which is very similar, but it's all the first generation stuff. It's 1 Sword Brother and between 4 and 9 initiates, between 0 and 10 neophytes. You can have as small as a 5-man squad, or as big as a 20. You can put special weapons on. It's basically standard Marines on this. Standard Marine stat lines. The Primaris Sword Brethren have huge number of options. It's one of these ones with a whole bunch of really weird worded options. Basically, in a 10-man squad, you can have a Thunderhammer, a pair of Lightning Claws, an axe, a maul, a plasma pistol, and a couple of hand flamers. If it's more than 10, it's double. And Vow Sworn Bladesmen, they have a special thing, which basically means they're not affected by a Vow's passion. So they only get the pros, not the cons. And that's it for the units. And that is it, effectively, for the book. We're on points values and pretty artwork. So there we go. I didn't realise I was right at the end of the book there, or I might have chosen more dramatic words. So, I don't know if you've had any questions about the supplements as we've gone through. Right, okay. Phobos armor for Black Templars, yes or no? Yes, it's an option. it talks about how if come on, brain. When initiates aren't in Crusader squads, they can potentially be equipped in Phobos armor for different tactical reasons. So yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Thoughts on the Black Templar Codex? Is it possible to have an example of a narrative-focused list suggestion? Yeah, I kind of got one in my head, so I'll tell you where my brain went when I was doing it. I sort of thought, oh well, I could have, if I was just staying with Primaris and I was basing it on the box because I have got the box, and I'll talk about this more in a minute. I'm already painting the contents of the box. I've been doing that today, and there'll be a hobby vlog on that coming out. And I'm going to do some battle reports that are going to be probably in the members lounge for channel members. I'm going to do like 2 or 3 battle reports just with the contents of the box against orcs or chaos marines. And yeah,
yay,
so
31.
31.
31.
So, oh, you're trying to get likes. You're trying to get thumbs up. You thumb farming.
Yeah.
Thumb farming. So where?
Sounds interesting.
Well, quite.
Deary me.
So where my brain went. Let's move hastily on.
Yes.
Where my brain went with the contents of the box and the models I've got was, okay, so you get a Crusader squad, it's roughly 200 points. You get a Marshal. I'd really rather have a Castellan, because the Marshal is the head of the whole crusade. I'd rather have a Castellan who's just leading this little bit of the crusade, but I've got a Marshal. And I got an Empress Champion. Now the Empress Champion, I had to have thought, well, would the Empress Champion really be coming along here? But the Empress Champion can just divinely manifest out of anyone at any point. They can just sort of have, shaft of light. Oh, I'm the Empress Champion. So the Empress Champion. There's a Dreadnought, a Redemptor Pattern Dreadnought. Now those 4 things are circa 550 points. So I thought, right, okay. Blade Guard. So Primaris Marines, Primaris veterans that are, they, because it talks about when they get named to be basically veterans, they, there's no sort of like minimum amount. There's no quota. It's sort of, oh yeah, this person has done all sorts of pious stuff. Therefore, they are now a veteran. Okay, they're a veteran. And at that point, they don't take on neophytes anymore. And so they follow whichever, they basically do what they want to do. So I thought Blade Guard really fit with getting the sword, getting close, choppy chop. Also, aggressors. I can really see initiates who haven't got neophytes taking the fire support role. And I can see the fire support role in a Black Templars army being up close and personal, burning stuff. So yeah, I think, right, let's add some Blade Guard. Let's add some aggressors. Then that gets us about 100 points short. So where did my brain go next? I don't know that I finished that train of thought at that point. Because I thought, oh, well, I have actually got a Crusader squad that's not a Primaris one. I've got a regular one. So, and then what I could also do is I could get some Assault Marines, because, yeah, that's what the other guys with. Oh, come on, brain. So my brain's terrible tonight. Train of thoughts all over the place, worse than usual. Because the initiates who aren't currently training neophytes, I think, will be more likely to want to get up close and personal. So the assault marine, I think, really fits. So I reckon a couple of Crusader squads, some Blade Guard, some Firestorm aggressors, the characters. Maybe then you throw in a chaplain, assault marines, and you need something big and shooty. Maybe Centurions, and then I think you've got a roughly 1,500 point. Then I started thinking about drop pods. Then I went off on a real tangent, but from that core of Crusader, a couple of characters, and a Dreadnought, I think some close combat Primaris specialists and some Flamestorm aggressors, and I then think your opponent is in the world of what on earth do I shoot? I can't let any of these get near me, and oh my god, they're coming straight for me. So they're my thoughts on a narrative list. Oh, Squawk. Why don't Grey Knights have any anti-psycho stuff like that? We'll come back to that.
Okay.
We'll put that in that pile of come back to you later.
Come back to you later. Okay. I could do that. I'll stick it there.
Okay. Kevin saying, I've got the box set on the way, but this is the first time I'll be playing Black Templars and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, likewise. It's the first time I'm going to be playing Black Templars. Yeah. I'm also looking forward to it. Oh, right. We've had a few super chats.
I've got them all.
You've got them all?
Yeah.
Have you written down what they've actually said on that? Oh, you legend.
Oh, I know.
What's that say?
I've just written it as it says it, so I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce
a leggy time? A leggy time. Does the Codex address the fact that the Black Templars worship a corpse and are just wrong? That's a very specific point of view, and probably something you'd find described in a different book, a darker book with an 8-pointed star on the front. Okay, so
I'm not finished.
Are these all Black Templar
Related,
ones?
Yeah.
Okay. From Aaron, how long till the Templars are going on crusade on the channel? Hopefully Sunday. And regular viewers will realise that when I share my aspirational timelines, it does not in any way mean it will actually happen. But my current aspiration is to get the models painted tomorrow and Thursday. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But if I get them painted tomorrow and Thursday, then on Friday I'm going to film a couple of 500-point games, and then they'll fill the regular Sunday slot for channel members for a couple of weeks. I thought it might be quite interesting to have a few different baddies to go against. I'm not going to do that as a narrative campaign. I am just going to do it as a few one-off games. I sort of thought, well, I could do a few things linked together, and then I just looked at the models I had, and I thought, I can't. It's going to be. There's quite a lot of disbelief would have to be suspended for the same models just repeatedly dying on the same crusade. If I've got a bit of a bigger army and I can just use Crusader Squads and just Crusader Squads, and I've got a few different characters I can rotate in and out, because I've got lots of models left over. I say left over. I subscribed to what's it called? Conquest, which was the previous. It was the sort of weekly magazine where you got Guard and Marines, and that's right. Was it a Christmas present or a birthday present or just a present? That was the present you got me, wasn't it?
Just a present.
It was just a present. I remember now. Gosh, that seems like so long ago.
It does.
So I ended up with a lot of, not random Marines, but lots of things I didn't have any specific plan for. And over time, I've dripped them into different projects. So I'm thinking there's a bunch of stuff I can raid there. So I've got, definitely there's an apothecary there, there's a chaplain, there are some flamestone aggressors, and there are other things. So I am, I don't know how, I have so many projects. This takes the count up to 48.
There's no room in the house. There's no room. Taking over.
It's only in 3 out of 11 rooms.
No, it's not. Hallway.
4 out of 11 rooms.
Kitchen.
5 out of 11 rooms.
Rambles.
See, less than half.
Need a bigger house.
Less than half. This house is plenty big enough. It can. I just need better storage solutions, is what I need.
This is true.
Better storage solutions. I was building some orcs earlier today, or was it yesterday? I had to build orcs whilst I waited for the Black Templars undercoat to dry, and I took lots of getting started. But a while ago, I decided that because of what I wanted for all my orc projects, the most economical way of doing it was to get lots of start collecting. Lots of start collecting boxes because it was overall cheaper. So I took all the lads out of those to use, and I'm like, I'm not just going to put the boxes back on the shelves. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one box and put all the sprues into them, consolidate them, reduce the air around them. Okay. Bennick. I think it says Bennick. Is that an R or an N?
Ah.
Beric. Have I missed mention of the Holy Hand Grenade? No mention of the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch, I'm afraid. Not that I could see. There may be some. Let me just look at the relics and see if there's anything that might be a Holy Hand Grenade. No. 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 What an opportunity missed. Oh, wow. What have we got here? Adrian Smart. Hi, Paul. I've been playing Black Templar since 2002. Welcome to Crusade. Have a Primaris. That's the size of Crimson. Scrunching it up in frustration and throwing the post-it away. Have a Primaris chaplain on me. Conversions should be right. Oh, thank you, man. That is awesome. Much appreciated. Thank you, Adrian. Right. So from Josh, rate the book out of 10. Ooh. Not sure about numerical ratings. There's nothing blows me away about it, but it does meet everything I want it to. It explains the narrative of the army, and for me, this next bit is a really important thing. It's the biggest thing on my list. It tells me enough about the narrative in the context of how the army is selected so that I feel I can build a narrative army based on what I now know. There's narrative information in there that will affect my decisions during the game. If my Emperor's Champion falls, you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be swarming all over it to recover the armor. The units seem fine. I haven't looked at special characters, but I very rarely do. Because I tend not to field special characters in most armies, except Eldar. And Blood Angels. Maybe I should revisit them. I'm not keen on the Helbricht model, the one where he's stabbing an orc, because what if they're not fighting orcs? No. From a gameplay point of view, I've not tried using it yet, so I don't realistically know if there are any holes in it. It feels, from having read it, like a solid 7 or 8. yeah, there's nothing that makes me go, oh God, why have they done that? Or that's going to be difficult to play, like Admech, and a bunch of other things. Yeah, good 7 or 8, I'd say. Very pleased. Thank you. This is in the non-related ones. Thank you. Check out the Holy Orb for Holy Hand Grenade. Right, okay, hang on. I couldn't see a Holy Orb, or maybe that's in the Relics section. Maybe that's in the Carried Relics. The Relics and then Relic Bearers. Holy Orb. Each Holy Orb is a masterpiece, combining explosives and sacred unguents. When thrown, the orb explodes, superheating the unguents into a cloud of scalding incense. Unbelievers who inhale this ascend into a paroxysm of agony while they contemplate their many sins. Once per battle of the shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit within 6 inches. Visitors want to roll a d6 and a 2+ and inflicts d3 mortal wounds until the end of the turn. Not eligible to fight until other units from your army have already done so. It's a Holy Hand Grenade! Having it. I now need to pay a chaplain so I can give someone a Holy Hand Grenade. Oh, I'd already moved the Holy Hand Grenade. Eldar Blog, will you play Black Templars? I think we've covered that. Let's see. Winter's over last week, and we were chatting about stuff, and we were talking about various things that content creators talk about. And I was talking about all the projects I had on. I said, "Oh, it's 47." Said, "Oh no, it's not 47. It's 48 now that I've got the Black Templars box." And he just sighed and said, "I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you." He said, "Is this going to be another army you're going to build and play once?" I said, "Who knows? I've got plenty of those on the shelves." Do you think Helbrex will ever catch Gaskell, or is it a perpetual narrative chase from Lysyria? Lysyria. I think it's a perpetual narrative chase because they can't write either character off without hacking off big chunks of their paying customers. So I think it's a perpetual narrative chase. There are very few characters they have ever killed off. I think they killed off Captain Tycho in the Blood Angels. They killed off what's his name from Cadia? Oh, come on. I can't remember his name. Crow, Castellan Crow. Creed. Thank you. At one point, they killed off Eldrad Ulthram, but then they retconned him undead. They retconned him not dead. Undead. Crucial difference there. Even when they've taken characters out of books, in the original Dark Eldar Codex, there were about half a dozen different characters who haven't made it past anything, but they haven't written them, they haven't killed them off. So, yeah, I think it's a perpetual chase. Any more relating to the book?
No.
Okie dokie. So, let's move on to a slightly more perambular ramble in the remaining time. What have I been doing this last week? Well, I finished my wave 1 of my Necrons, which I'm very pleased about. That's all the Tomb Guardian-y stuff. It's basically my concept for if someone invades a dormant tomb, what would be there defending it? For narrative reasons. And then I played a game with Winters on Thursday against his glorious 13th, where he invaded my tomb. That was a lot.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't realise Winters had invaded your tomb whilst he was here. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
You see, when I say it, it's deadpan. So that was a lot of fun. That was a great game. Oh, she's gone. She's gone. She's fanning herself now. She's just gone.
Thanks, Josh.
That was a lot of fun. It was a very... it was just cool to be hanging out with Winters again. But it's the first time we ever just played a normal size game. It was 2K aside. We have never done that before. We've always done really big grand things. Even the very first game we played was 4,000 points, 3,500, 4,000 points. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Didn't manage to get all my tomb terrain finished though, unfortunately. So I still need to do more, because the plan is to, with Sultan of Deployment Zone fame, he's going to bring his what they call Death Watch at some point and we're going to do a campaign of tomb raiding. But you can't take her anywhere. But
Stop saying it. Stop saying it and I'll be fine. Stop.
Okay, so a super chat from Kev. Sunday's bat rep helped me get my cousin into 40k. So thank you. Oh man, I'm really pleased to hear that. And pass on my condolences to his wallet and all his spare time. So yeah, so I've still got more of the terrain to paint. What was interesting was how with me doing my thing in lockdown, doing all the solo stuff, solo hammer stuff, our play styles have diverged a little bit, and it was interesting to have some discussion about that during the game when decisions were being made that were taking the other player by surprise. So we had some interesting conversation about that, which was really cool. Not all of the internet thought it was cool. Some of you may have noticed that the comments have been turned off on that video because some people who didn't like it just felt the need to share that, and I don't want to have to read that. So they've spoiled it for everyone. So the comments are turned off.
Just mean.
Whether I put them back on for other video types, maybe it's just bat reps, maybe it's just bat reps that I don't know. I'll put them back on in future, and then if it happens again, I'll turn them off. So yeah, did that, which was good fun. Then I started building the Black Templars, trying to decide whether I was going to do a reviews video. If I was going to do a Codex review, I want it to be ready for the 10 a.m. on the Saturday, and I didn't have time to do that. So, thank you, Barrett. That's much appreciated. So I didn't have time to get that done because I was playing Winters on the Friday. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll ramble about it and I'll hobby vlog doing the models. At that point, I thought, I might have the models done beforehand and I could actually paste the thing down. It could be ready for this. not happening. I'm trying to turn my pace down a notch. Now I'm having a bit of a break from work before I look for a new contract. I'm trying not to put as much pressure on myself as I did. So the pace is slowing a little bit. But yeah, I'm in the process of painting those at the moment. And the idea is that, I'll get those finished in a couple of days and see if I am up to doing some solo hammer, which is something that's been very, very difficult whilst my brain's been bad. I can still do stuff like this, okay, and I can do the hobby vlogs, and I can play with other people, but solo hammer is really mentally intensive. It really is. So I've not been able to do that, which is why there have been fewer battle reports, and why I've put most of the ones I've been able to do on for channel members, because you guys are big supporters, and you contribute each month, and I need to give you back for that contribution, which is why it's the public YouTube that's had fewer bat reps on than because the ones I've had the ability to do have gone on to members. So I was also scheduled to play Age of Sigmar with Warsmith Chris from Deployment Zone on Saturday, but he had to cancel because he couldn't get any petrol. Such a crying shame. He's been painting what they call flesh eater courts, and we were gonna have at least one narrative game, maybe two, depending on how the time went. So yeah, that really sucked. But yes, I'm going to see if I'm up to doing any solo hammer towards the end of the week. I also sort of thought, well, it might help if I'm only doing 500-point games, not quite so difficult. And if I do the same Black Templar Force a few times, not quite as much to have to cram into the noggin. So I'm going to give that a go. I've also
no, Kevin. No, you didn't miss it, Kevin. Not at all. We're saving it till the end. Don't worry. You didn't miss anything. I just wanted to let Kevin know.
Oh, okay.
Not missed anything.
Okay. So I've also assembled some orcs this week. I'm struggling with really being keen on about 3 or 4 armies at once. I really want to push on all of them, but I can't. So I'm playing Winters again at his gaff at the end of the month, and I'm going to take my orcs. So I'm hoping, and I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself. Because I've got plenty of orcs I can take, but I quite like the idea of taking some snake bites, because I built that kill rig that GW very kindly sent me, and I vlogged that recently. And I need a few more bits to go with that. That being the big, heavy thing, just trundling up on its own feels a bit wrong. So I'm trying to do a few more bits. So hopefully some snake bites are in the offing. Then but I'm also really keen on doing more Necrons. I've got all Necroned up. Really keen on that. I think. I've broken wave. Wave 2 was a huge wave. There were about 15 units in wave 2. I've broken that down into 2 different waves. So I've got a sort of wave 1 was the Cryptek stuff, and wave 2 was meant to be the Overlord stuff. But I've done a little bit of narrative ferreting, and I think I can subdivide the Overlord stuff into Lord and Overlord, and try and Oh, my brain's just frozen. What was I saying? Something about the... Yeah, I think I can do some of the units with the Necron Lord to break that into two halves. So a lesser Lord and some of the not quite so princely stuff that he might have kicking around, like Tomb Blades and not command barges. What's the... Annihilation barges. Annihilation barges. Oh, wow. We've got a couple of other things on the thing. I'm going to read these. You're going to throw it at me, aren't you? Yeah, I was right. Okay, so from CLJ 3177, would love to know your thoughts on the Tannhauser's Bones relic and the Champion of the Feast strat. I get no respect. Let's have a look then.
That's abuse.
Champion of the Feast. Use this strat before the battle. Select one Black Templars model from your area that has word Sergeant or Sword Brother in the profile. Add 1 to that model's attack and wounds characteristic and improve that model weapon skill by 1. You can use this champion once. To triumph over the champions of other Imperial Fist successors requires a warrior of superlative skill and fortitude. So, I like it. I can see why anyone would want to use that, because for 1 command point, you buff up a sergeant, and in a big unit... She's making a paper airplane. And in a big unit, they'll stay fighty for quite a while. Now, narratively, would they be the champion of a feast that's just happened, or could they have been a champion of a previous feast? Because if it had to be a feast that's just happened, then it would have to be for me, it would have to be a battle that included, or at least a campaign that included other Imperial Fist successors. That's what I think. Right, the Tannhaus Bones. Tannhauser's Bones. So this is a relic. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, the damage characteristic of that attack is changed to 1. Oh! That's gross. So you've got a... So you've got an Imperial Knight Chaos Knight battering whoever's got this relic with their 6 wound Titanic Chainsword, and each time the damage is reduced to 1. What's the description? Marshal Tannhauser was martyred at the hands of the Black Legion at the decisive Battle of Rutger's Reach Crusade. His bones, encased in small reliquaries, were distributed amongst the warriors of that crusade during the victory sermon. Each is a potent reminder of any duty and the expectations placed on every Black Templar. Well, what I think that's going to get FAQ'd. I think they're going to get rid of that. It's gross. I mean, change 2-1, not reduced by 2, minimum 1, or halved, or the first blow they take is reduced to 0 or discounted. I like that if narratively they're being hit with like 2 wound weapons or the occasional power fist, or but each time an attack is allocated to worse, you hit them with 4 last cannons, the most you can do is 4 wounds. That doesn't feel narratively great in all scenarios. That's what I think. So, Iogan Bryn, sorry for going off topic. Do you think GW would benefit from killing off named characters to shake up the setting? It's difficult, isn't it? Because it's not like a TV series when you can kill off someone's favorite character that they've become invested in, but it all then carries on. It's trying to think of an equivalent. It's a little bit like, I guess, disabling someone's online game. Is it like that? I don't know. Every faction exists in 40k in the game because people buy the models and people are customers. And you are effectively saying that we are no longer going to permit you to use this product of ours legitimately. I don't know if there are many parallels for this, but story-wise, characters dying a lot in the likes of the Horus Heresy or the background, the narrative, that all works really well. But one of the reasons why the 40k game is pretty static is because you can't have one faction radically changing or becoming dominant over another because someone else has spent hundreds of pounds, dollars, invested hours in building and painting and collecting that to then be told they can't use it. Or it's no longer supported. It's like, yeah. So I think they... It's one of these things about when the games are set. Karanos, is that not the same as models being relegated to the Legends rule set? Yes, it is. It is. But relegation to Legends it makes it feel less stingy from a customer point of view, saying, well, we're not going to develop anything new for them. We can still use them. Over time, they'll become deprecated. That we're not going to be on 12th ed, and they're updating the rule. I wouldn't imagine they're updating the rules for things that were written out in 8th ed. So, yeah, they still have a limited shelf life. Now, I don't think they'll kill many characters off, and I don't know that they should for a game. It's one of the reasons I don't. Is it one of the reasons I don't play a lot of named characters? I mean, one of the questions is about when your game is set. If your game is right here, right now, you say, oh, so-and-so's. If your character's in the book and it's dead, you say, oh, yeah, he died in the story, but this game is set 200 years ago, so I can still use him. I don't know. I have not. There's a train of thought there, and I don't know where it's going. I may have to mull on that one and come up with a coherent set of thoughts at some future point. How are we doing for other post-its? Okay, so we have from Squark, why don't Grey Knights have anti-psyker stuff like that? Well, the Grey Knights are anti-demon. They have, from what I remember of reading the Grey Knights book, I felt like they had a huge amount of generic anti-psyker, just anti-psychic ability rather than anti-psyker ability. Yeah, because I think for the Grey Knights, it's more about them being able to resist the psychic powers of the demons and then kill the demons than the psychics themselves. Hey, fellowship! Welcome back! Woo! The Legion of the Damned could be a way to kill off. Is that a rejoining, or is that what is that?
Rejoin.
It's a rejoining.
It's a rejoin. It says it's a rejoin.
It's a rejoin.
Yeah.
Excellent. The Legion of the Damned could be a
3
good way
months.
to kill off member for 3 months. That's a total length of membership time, I think. Is that?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I get like a thing which says, member for X days, member for X months.
Oh. Have you seen how many likes you've got? That's
I know
brilliant.
you've been thumb farming.
I have me and Moog, and that 45th like was the plane that went past your head. I'm doing planes for likes at the minute.
It didn't go past my head. It
No,
went
no,
into
the
my
other
beard.
one did.
Oh, there was another one. I'm going to find the plane.
48. I owe you 2.
Legion of the Damned could be a good way to kill off characters. Yeah, maybe. Legion of the Damned. I'm quite sure. Legion of the Damned. That was a sort of chaos cultist type book. Oh no, Legion of the Damned, not Lost in the Damned. Yeah, characters can.
You've missed me, haven't you, really?
After I cooked your dinner.
Yeah. Oh, it was a really nice dinner. It was yum.
I let you pick what you're having as well.
Yeah, I did pick it.
Yeah, moving characters to the Lost and the Damned. Legion of the Damned, that's interesting. Okay. Aleski, do you collect G-Steel cults? If not, are you planning to? Yes, I have a G-Steel cult army, but it's not.
Oh, we're awesome.
Thanks, Kev.
I love Kev. Get ready for lots of hugs at Paul Fest, Kev.
Yes, I have a G-Steel cult army. I've only got 1,000 points at the moment, and I don't play it very often because it's not the easiest to do in solo hammer. You have to have a lot of plans and a lot of ha-ha moments, and not easy in solo hammer because you then have to try and think, would I have thought this? Nah. Next.
I've just got thank yous left.
Wow,
just been making planes.
That's thank yous. That's
Yeah.
a huge thing of thank yous.
It's fabulous.
Okay. So what did I cook?
Oh, it was lovely. It was a doll, and it was beautiful. I didn't think I would be able to walk upstairs after it though, because I couldn't move, but it was incredibly nice. And bargees and prawn pakoras. It was lovely. Yay, milestone, chapter master Lexicus. Love him.
Hi, chapter master. Hi, Adrian.
Love you. Love you all. It's a milestone gang. Yay. You know what that deserves, don't you? A milestone gang has got to be. It's got to be another. Wait a minute. Get ready. I'm building it up. Drum roll, please. Plane. Okay, sorry. I'll stop now. No, he doesn't, Josh, but pop round and we'll make you one. Oh, abuse. There's a small fleeting Paul's beard. There is, but look at the likes. 51. Come on, guys. 51.
Well, on that happy note.
Are you ready? Smile.
Hi, David. Hi in Australia.
Hi, David. He is used to me. It's
Right.
you know.
Yes, a regular occurrence. Okay, so
I know you've read that one, but I was just putting it out there.
right. So it was a yes.
Or putting it out.
Is that an A?
Yeah, that's the one that you read. Going off topic.
Yes. So are we on? This is thank yous. Are we on now?
This is thank you.
Okay, so we're on thank yous.
Woo! Got my own little Mexican wave going on in corner.
Diego Byrne, thank you for your super chat. Who else? What else? Thank you. Eldar Blog for the Coke sponsorship. Thank you. And again for don't get sad at the bad comments. They're a fact, but yeah, I just need to turn them off. I've had enough. But thank you for the kind thoughts. Always look forward to Rambles. Keep up the good work. So thank you, Chapter Master. Oh, also Chapter Master. Chapter Master. Paul, you are a legend. Looking forward to seeing you at Paul Fest and Lady Crimson. Hey, looking forward to get well soon, Mr. Chapter Master.
Mrs. Chapter Master, get well soon. She's not very well.
You've said
She's not
you've
feeling
written
herself.
Mr.
Yeah, you don't have to do that, do you?
It says Mr.
Oh, look at the love heart though. Love hearts.
Get well soon,
Get
Mrs.
well
Chapter
soon.
Master.
Get well soon. That's thank you. There was no comment on that one, but thank you.
Thank you, Adrian Smart.
I went to school with an Adrian Smart. You're not Adrian Smart I went to school with, are you?
Josh, thanks for being awesome, Paul. Here's an expensive coffee or a cheap beer. Thank you, man.
Oh, look at Moog. Moog's not going to be outdone. And last but not least, who's going to get lots of loves at Paul Fest?
Kevin, thanks for keeping me going every week. Have a Coke on me. Thanks, we are awesome.
We are awesome.
Thinks we are awesome.
Thinks we're awesome.
Oh, well, hey, thank you all for joining me this evening and getting the 50 likes.
Us. Rude. 53 likes. 53 out of 54 right at this moment in time.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good.
Amazing.
Well, big thank you to my assistant Crimson, who has done a wonderful job of heckling and being Crimson.
Yay!
And providing me with questions and massive big help. And thank you to everyone who's super chatted and who's done remembered their memberships. I think that's everything.
Thanks, Moog. You're a superstar.
Okay, thanks for joining us, folks, and we shall see you in the next one. So bye, Crimson.
Bye, Crimson.
Bye.